So when I was first starting to build websites for people, I would build a proposal that I was usually not very confident about what I would price versus the amount of work that it was going to take to build the site. And I, a lot of times, was just guessing as to what I should actually ask the client to invest and not really sure exactly how much time it was going to take with revisions and the client changing their mind and maybe like not really sure of the size of the project up front. And in time, I just thought I would do more websites and get more experience, and then that was going to give me the tool set to evaluate what I should actually charge future clients. And it wasn't until I really took a step back and looked at what it was that were the factors that were driving me, driving the size of the website, that I started to understand that there was a systematic way that I could actually build a proposal, estimate a investment for that, and be relatively confident that that was what it was actually going to take. What I started doing is transitioning my conversations with clients from just asking them about what they want on their website into a conversation that was really about asking about their business and their goals. And from that, what I did is I built a website outline. And website outline very simply is what are all the pages on a website and what's the hierarchy and how are the pages related to one another. So as a business would be talking to me about their business, I would start to think of the things in the organization that needed to be on the website. So I would start with a home page, and when they would be talking about product A, I would say, okay, we need a page for product A. And they would talk about B, they would talk about C, and I say, okay, we need pages for those things, and I would write that down. And then they would talk about other departments and other things that their business did, and that gave me an idea of how to translate what they were saying into the pages that actually belong on a website. And in time, I got really good at building outlines that reflected what it was they were saying. Because when I would go to a client and ask them, hey, tell me what pages you want, they wouldn't be thinking of the complexity of their business and would usually not give me enough information to give them a good outline, which would lead to a project later on blowing out of the water and being way over budget because they suddenly, through that process of building it, started to think about that. So I realized that up front I could ask a lot of these questions about their business and what they do and who they serve, so that way I could build an outline that was really and truly representative of their business. And when I went to present that outline to them, they thought I was a magician, that I somehow took what they said and really clarified in their mind how to organize the complexity of their business in a very straightforward, very simple outline. So then I was able to take that outline and say, okay, how many pages are here? Is this a 5-page website, a 15-page site, a 25-page site? And I'd be able to get the client to agree that, yes, that was the size of site that they believed they needed. And that really helped me to eliminate problems down the line where a client would maybe sign on to do a 10-page website, but then they would add and add and add, and that was really just taking time and money away from me because I wouldn't be able to really easily charge for that. So the website outline was bigger. I was able to understand what it was that they needed and help them understand in their mind what their website was going to look like. And then I could take a look at that website outline and I could identify inside of there which of these pages are unique. So for example, one product page and another are very similar. So the time to take to build those two pages might be less. Whereas there's maybe other pages on their site that are very unique, and maybe there's a page that goes into their history, and there needs to be a timeline and some sort of graphic display and photo collage. And so then I could really start to think about what are the things and the elements that are going to live on a particular page. And then in my mind, I could estimate what it was going to take to actually build that. So I was going from a situation where I had really little information about the business and very little alignment with the client about the size of site and type of site I was building, to a scenario where we were both in agreement on the number of pages, what the content of those pages were going to be, and how we were going to build it. And then I was able to charge what I was actually spending the time on. And furthermore, I got more projects because I was one of the very few people that were actually giving that client, that prospect, a clear vision of what was going to be built for them. Meanwhile, all my competitors were not doing a great job of that. And because they were confused, because they weren't sure that they were going to get a certain end result with one of my competitors, they hired me because they got a very, very clear understanding of that. So if you're having any trouble pricing the investment for a website, ask the client about their business, dissect what it is that their business does and translate that into a website outline and share that with them so that way you can gain agreement. And when you do that, you're absolutely going to close a lot more sales.